If you've ever had headaches, dry eyes, sore eyes, trouble focusing while gaming, then it could be because of your Welcome back to Gaming Ergonomics 101. I am your professor, Dr. Matthew Hu, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about everything related to the gaming monitor, whether it be your height, the distance, the tilt, and how all of that impacts your health as a gamer and can maybe contribute to the headaches, the eye fatigue that I had mentioned earlier. If you haven't already, just go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications to this channel, and let's get into all the good stuff. Alright, the first thing we're going to be talking about is monitor height and tilt, and our recommendation is that when you're sitting upright, the horizontal eye level should meet the top 1/4 of the monitor or slightly above, and if possible the monitor should be slightly tilted back. And this position for the monitor is also based on the physiology of the eye and our eye's ability to accommodate, which is look at various distances, but also focus or converge on a single point. And when we're looking at various things on the monitor, we need to make sure that our eye muscles aren't working as hard, and at that height it creates the optimal viewing angles for our lens, and that's typically between 20 to 50 degrees, and I believe in some research it's shown to be 26.75 degrees, so allowing us to be at the top 1/4, the center of the screen, which is typically the focal point for a lot of our games, is the most accurate or easy on the eyes, and also allows us to focus without straining our eye muscles to scan the visual field. And as you guys can tell, if the monitor is too high, as I mentioned, it can cause us to overuse those muscles in the back of our upper neck, causing us to look up like that. And that's implicated in a lot of headaches that we experience as gamers, or even sort of single-sided pulsing symptoms, sometimes even causing tinnitus or the ringing in your ears. And if you guys are curious more about how to address that, there's a link in the description. But let's talk about distance, because that also impacts how well our eyes work. Now we're going to talk about monitor distance, and our recommendation is that it should follow the one arm rule. It should be 1 arm's length away, plus or minus the distance of your hand. And so one thing we have to realize with the eye is that everyone's different. The shape of the lens in your eye and the physiology around your eye is slightly different, which is why we're providing this range. And as I mentioned, our eye has the ability to accommodate, change the shape of the lens to see different distances. It also has the ability to converge, focus on a different point, and it's been shown that convergence contributes more to eye strain. So meaning that in general, farther is a little bit better. If you notice that when you place the monitor within a certain range, that at the end of your gaming session, your eye tends to get a little fatigued, you get a little tired, and are unable to focus after a couple games, then I would look to move your monitor a little further back. Obviously, a distance where you can barely see the characters is not what we want, but use this rule to start somewhere, and then if you feel like there's some strain, play with that range to find what works for you, so that at the end of your session you're not straining your eyes. And that's how this one arm rule became popular, because it gave us a quick way to avoid over convergence. And I agree that you guys should use it as a baseline, but always work with it and see how you feel after your gaming session, so you can make a better decision about what is optimal for you. What is optimal for you is not optimal for everyone else. Alright, the last thing I want to discuss is, of course, blue light. How does it affect our health? At the certain range of wavelength of light, which is blue, it's able to pass through the lens of our eyes back to our cornea, and that causes some damage to the back of the eye, or oxidative damage, and that can harm the cells, and over time that can cause our eyes to not be able to focus as well, and long term we want to be able to see. So what are our recommendations for blue light exposure? One, you got to take enough breaks. You got to get up, stand outside, look at far distances, as your parents have probably told you many times, because it allows our eyes to get a little break from repeated exposure to that blue light. use some filters, use programs like Flux, use the actual screen filter that prevents excessive blue light from coming out of the screen. Remember, blue light isn't always bad, as it's helpful in also promoting certain parts of our circadian rhythm if we're exposed to it in the morning. But over a long period of time, it can definitely lead to repeated eye strain. Of course, there's also the computer glasses that you guys can get that naturally filter those out and can help you stay focused for longer periods of time. And that's what we really want as gamers. We don't want to have to deal with that eye fatigue after 4 games of competitive, because we want to stay focused. We want to keep climbing. We don't want to go on a losing streak. So, quick review of the blue light recommendations. You want to take enough breaks. Make sure your eyes are given some rest of the repeated exposure of the blue light. You can use programs like Flux. You can purchase actual screen filters to lay over your monitor. You can also buy computer glasses. I think those are the easiest ones, and really make a big impact. Many gamers that I work with who have purchased gaming glasses have reported how much it has helped them with long-term eye fatigue during their gaming sessions. Alright guys, that is all. That was a lesson number 2. Hope you guys learned a lot. Let me know if there's anything that you still want to know relating to monitors or monitor ergonomics. Definitely there are things like refresh rate, the style of the monitor, whether it's curved or it's flat, that can contribute to eye fatigue. But I wanted to go over the key things that are really more relevant to headaches, more relevant to eye fatigue. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting us. If you want to support us some more, you can check out our Patreon. If you want individualized help, we're on Patreon. We have some health coaching where you have access to us 1 time a week, and we help you address any issues you might have with your wellness or your performance. But thank you guys again. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time.